Hey, what's up, Toby? We made it another week.
We did. Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, I hear
Glad to be here.
I hear you have the topic for today.
I do.
Cool.
Let me start with a question.
Okay, let's
I
hear it.
want you, I want you to pause for a second
Okay.
and think about something that you do on a routine basis.
Okay.
There's probably a handful of things.
Okay.
Pick something that you do every day.
Okay.
Again, probably a smaller list.
Okay.
What is the most boring thing that you do every day that's PG rated? We don't need to get into full bathroom routine and some of the murky parts, but is there something boring that you really do every day?
Yeah, I mean, I went to brushing your teeth, right? Is where I went.
Yeah.
Then I went to
God bless you, sir. You're aware that this is publicly available content. Thank you,
then I went,
listeners for the globe.
then I went to doing dishes, but I don't do that every day. And I also try not to do that every day so that someone else in the household will pick that up.
Dude, yeah, fair. Says a man with other responsible, at least one other responsible human walking the halls of his home. So those are two perfect examples that I think all of us as adults can relate to. And the thing that I've been thinking about is, what do I do on autopilot because it's boring and it's repetitive and it's good enough versus why am I fatigued sometimes when I'm pinballing from high context decision to high context action to high context conversation to new activity. And you're right. Brushing teeth is a perfect example. I think I do it exactly the same way when I'm at home because I use an electric toothbrush. I just kind of zone off and let it crawl around my mouth. I don't even know that I have an intentional, start on the right side. I mean, that's how little attention I pay. I can't even tell you how I brush my teeth, short of toothpaste on an electric toothbrush and zone off for 2 minutes. I don't get a lot of cavities, so I must be doing something right. But there's nothing secret about it. Not you, toothbrush.
Well, hold on. I mean, I didn't know if we just became the dental podcast or if this has a process that tie-in, or we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Okay. Yeah, I brush my teeth.
Walnut.
I put it on there and it's the same thing. Electric, put it in and you're done.
Yeah. And so of course, tonight you and I are both going to go, hey, we were talking about this today. Can I brush my left rear molar? What's funny though is I give that so little thought. And sometimes when I travel, I don't carry it. So I'm just using an old school manual toothbrush. I give it the exact same level of neglect, but I still perform the task. Dishwashing, on the other hand, I think about a little bit differently. If there's 2 or 3 things in the sink, I'll just scrub them up, soap them up, rinse them, and put them in the strainer. But there's some magic number at which I now start to think, should I be loading the dishwasher instead of just washing them as I go, right? These are the same problems that I think we have at work. And that if someone were to come in and watch you and I doing our teeth brushing exercise, certainly my dentist would have a lot of pointers.
No,
right.
That's really interesting. What you were saying, I instantly went to email.
Right.
Which I think is one of the process debt ridden tasks we all do. And one of the things that I recently did is I basically created a folder for every important project that I was working on. And that has made it significantly easier from a mental load because it's already pre-classified. Which has been somewhat interesting for me in that I'm close to 50 and I'm finally learning what I feel like is basic stuff. Now, the interesting thing about this from a process, here's what's interesting. From a process debt standpoint, I actually have to do some work to pre-classify to go and set up the rule so that when those come in, they basically fall in their nice little buckets. And it's
Yep.
interesting to me that I am resistant to doing some of that basic setup
Mm.
because it doesn't have the same dopamine high of going into my email
Well,
and doing whack-a-mole email triage.
sure. Sure. That's really intriguing. That's very much this self-improvement cycle.
Yeah.
If what's interesting, the place where my head has been stuck is the toothbrush example still. My dentist would tell me you need to floss every day
Yeah.
and you need to floss between every tooth and you should be using a water pick and
Yeah.
God knows what other products they want to sell me.
Yep.
The truth is, the way I brush my teeth in the boring way that I do it works.
Yeah.
It's worked for 20
Yeah.
years. But the equivalency inside of an organization
Yeah.
is that there's oftentimes somebody that wants me to produce they want to change it for change's
Yeah.
sake. Use your left hand, right? Brush 4 times a
Yeah.
day
Yeah.
instead of twice a day.
I
You
have
know,
I have thought about one of the challenges of knowledge work is that it's this constant slide. It's this constant landslide of task switching, never done tasks.
yeah.
And so what I don't, it's funny that you came up with this topic because literally this week I was like, why don't I like to do stuff around the house? Like there's certain people that really
Yeah.
like, I feel like you fall in two camps, which is,
Yep.
the first camp is I will refloor my entire house and I will do it. And I will go down to the rental place and I will get the bandsaw or whatever special tool I need to get that
Yeah.
done. There's that person. And then there's me, which is like, it overwhelms me because one, if I chose to try to do that, I would feel incompetent. And there's
Yeah.
just one other thing, and I'm going to have to go to the Home Depot 8 times because I forgot XYZ tool. And so I have like thought like when I come home, it's just funny because I work from home. When I come home, when I exit my office and walk the 20
Yes.
steps to my kitchen, I want to be able to just sit down and not worry about these infinite problems that are just going to keep coming. So I joke about the dishwasher, but
Yeah.
but that's kind of my problem. Like the dishwasher, they just keep piling up. Laundry just keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, and I think that these personal examples, they're absolutely true of the
Yeah, yeah.
workplace. And what's interesting is, this musing was very much on why can't we let boring tasks just stay boring, right? And if it's left to us, and to your point, people are wired two
Yep.
ways. The good enough is good enough, and then the other is like, well, let's find something to retool.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to strip all the siding off my house just to put it back up because I'm bored on a Saturday.
Oh,
Like I'm not that guy, but it's fascinating. And I think we were talking last week or the week before about how oftentimes managers or executives will jump into the middle of your business without enough context and understanding. But it's almost like they're stirring things to just show
yeah.
value. Right. And I think there's probably truth to that too at the household. I was always, if I'm not in the mood to do dishes at night, I'll do them in the morning.
Yeah.
And that requires both of the adults in that room
Sure.
to be comfortable.
Sure.
And otherwise, one of them is going to lose their mind. Right.
100%. That's funny.
But, we do this to each other too at work. And so it's really interesting.
We overvalue change because we overvalue the impact that change is going to have. And we undervalue just consistent get her done processes. Like we just greatly over, and some of it is because if it's a really good process, it is literally invisible.
It as it should be,
Yeah.
right? Nobody comes up to me unless I'm like really hitting them with heavy garlic breath. Rarely does somebody say, "Have you brushed your teeth twice a day recently?" You know, maybe there's a chunk of broccoli stuck to it,
That's funny.
hanging off a tooth. But you're right. Most of these things are invisible. How I check email, how I navigate, through an application.
Sure.
Unless somebody's watching me, all they see is that the action's done.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so it is this really interesting layer where we have to reach some levels of agreement
Mhm.
about what is important. Is it how I do it, or is it about the outcome that we're achieving?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the conversation we have a lot.
No.
If my outcome with toothbrushing is to spend half an hour a day in front of the mirror,
Yeah, yeah.
then yeah, I'm gonna do all
Yeah.
the gargle and flossing and everything as a dentist would ask.
Yep.
If my outcome though is to have good dental hygiene and not be getting fillings all the
Mhm.
time and not be ill,
Yeah.
I've already got that done with my 2 minutes of zoning off
Yep.
every day,
What's
right?
what's interesting is like the practice, which is what you're talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
doesn't actually take that much effort. Like I think I posted on LinkedIn, I don't know, probably about a month ago, like actually doing the dishes, like loading the dishwasher, like the whole process is like literally like 4 minutes or something. Like it's ridiculously low as far as a time commitment. But in my
Yeah.
head, you're like, this could be a 3-hour chore. Get your backpack. Someone bring a glass of water. Well, it's just funny. Like, but the
That's right.
I don't know.
Somebody come in here and mop my brow. It's like we're performing surgery, you know? I'm in it. Give me a chair. I may not be able to sit down for days.
Yeah,
Eh,
dish, cup. It's like a surgery.
Scraper. Yeah.
But it's funny because like there is something fundamentally human about us where we just overreact to something that just literally takes hardly any time at all. Like
Truly.
it's embarrassing. I don't even want to do the math to figure out what percentage of a day 4 minutes are. So let's figure out I'm six. Well, wait for 16 hours times 60 divided, like, like, well,
Yeah. It's not a lot.
it's not a lot.
My rough math says 4 minutes is not a big piece of the day.
And
But you know what? What I love about that, Chris, is that time and time again, there's a number of little tasks. And because we don't find them interesting or they just feel annoyingly repetitive,
yeah,
like dishes or like laundry, they're easy to put off
yeah,
because they carry some kind of emotional baggage. And the
yeah,
actual perceived effort versus the actual
yep,
effort is wildly out of sync.
yes. And
You just did math, didn't
I
you?
totally just didn't.
Well, is it 1%?
It's
Is 4 minutes 1%?
0.4%.
It's half a percent.
Correct.
It's less than half a
Correct.
percent of your day.
Correct. And if you're to talk about like how many minutes you're resistant to that, or you walk
Oh my
past it,
gosh.
it's probably at least 2%.
You and I have the same theory of dishes. It's like if I ignore them, will they just
Correct.
fall
Correct.
apart
Now,
or
so let's take this back to just good process, good practice, right? One of the challenges, I don't know if you've heard of the Zeigarnik effect. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Zeigarnik effect.
sometimes I think you're making up
No, I'm
things.
not. I actually have a card
Okay.
from the Log
All right.
UX guide. So
Listeners, you did just show me a legitimate card.
yeah, from
You didn't print that.
no,
This is from what?
it's from PipDex. It's Log
Okay.
UX stuff. It's
Nice.
basically the Zeigarnik effect is people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed tasks. And so I
Yeah.
think that one of the reasons why email is so hard is we don't know what our definition of done is.
Boy, it's an infinite problem.
It's an infinite problem. But like again, if the definition of done on your email is 20 minutes in the morning, that's okay. That's a good definition of done.
Yeah. That's it. It's a time boxing strategy. I think you make a good point. For some of we have boring things that we forget about.
Yep.
Toothbrushing. I couldn't tell you which shoe I put on first. I just know that I put them on after my
Yep.
pants because they don't fit through my pant legs with my fat feet in them. So order of operation is kind of self-determined that way.
Yep.
But there's a number of things that we successfully did today and totally forgot we did them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love time boxing is a nice way to take a boring and sometimes frustrating dirty dish
Correct.
style task.
Yeah.
You got to get into it. But if we time box it,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like if I just will wash one drinking glass, or if you need a clean fork, not that this ever happens in my house, but hypothetically, hypothetically, somebody didn't run the dishwasher and there are no clean
That's
forks.
funny.
As soon as I start to wash one clean fork, God, it's sure easy to clear the sink of the other 7 things.
Our ability to sit in homeostasis is
Oh,
impressive.
yeah.
Just sit in it. Whatever it is you're sitting in. It could be joy, it could be depression. It doesn't really matter. We're just very good at finding our place that we want to sit down and just stay there.
Totally. Super anchored,
The-
almost inflexible.
Yeah,
Yep.
the other funny thing about email is, the one thing we all know about email that but we tend to forget is that if it's
Ye-
important, it will come back.
Boy, that's really true.
Right. And so like I think some of the fear of doing good practice type things is
Yeah.
that we are afraid that the thing that we know, which is they'll come back to us. Like
Yeah.
we say we believe something, but we really don't trust. We don't trust that it's true.
Sure. It's true. Well, Chris, we started off this conversation with boring tasks, and there's certainly the boring tasks we forget about because of, and I loved your call out. If we're very effective at completing it, we don't give it a lot of mind.
Yep.
We don't belabor it.
Yep.
We just make it happen. And that's a lot of our normal activities of daily living, hygiene practices, and theoretically, most of the other stuff around the house, like laundry and dishes. We don't like it, but we get it done. And we don't feel like we have to optimize it. But the process question, and this is the piece maybe we just wrap the last few minutes on, is when we have a process at work and the outcome is being delivered, how do we know when it's okay to leave it as boring? When is good enough good enough?
That's a really good question. And I think we over anchor on our ego when we deliver at work.
Yeah. Back to the desire for change's sake.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I think one of the things that I've learned, within the last 5 years was don't do 110% job on the PowerPoint, do a 70% job and go and ask your friends what they think. And it's amazing how much more joy you can get when you include others and you don't put the bar so high, because the reality is if you're a manager, you know what you got to do. You got to critique your people's work.
That's right.
And like when I was young in my career, I'd be like, oh my God, like me. You're like, no, you just misspelled a word.
Yeah.
That was before spell check. I'm just kidding.
And spell check used to be anyway.
Okay.
No,
okay, hold on. Can we? I want to stop on spell check for 2 seconds. All right. When I was a kid, I don't even know what it was prior to Word. So this is how far we go back. But it was like spell check was like started to be a thing, right? So I tried to spell cooperate. I still can't spell cooperate, but the word that it returned was Cupertino.
Nice.
I know. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to spell Cupertino.
I've rarely used the word Cupertino on any regular basis.
The thing is, I wasn't even on an Apple product. Like this was on an old school. I mean, no, I don't know.
TSR 80 or something.
I mean, it was probably
Commodore
DOS.
64 kind of thing. Yeah.
Remember when you had to go like run.exe? That was fantastic.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we went
run.exe. Run, Forrest. Yeah. Anyway, spell check.
Yeah, we digressed really, really rapidly there.
God bless somebody that stuck with us this long on the episode. I do think that boring for boring's sake also requires it to be defensible. And I think too often we jump into the energy around change because it is infectious and it feels purposeful. And we forget about the outcome we're trying to achieve.
I think you have to balance. You got to have some boring, right? Like there's a reason why great ideas happen in the shower, because you're just not thinking. Right. And so why not ingest some of that not thinking into our daily, right? Where it's like,
I love that.
Just space out some, spend time in the email. Don't freak out about it. Just move on. Like,
Chris, when people ask me why I'm not paying attention, I'm gonna tell them that I'm investing in the boring now.
There you go.
I'm just creating some clear space, some
Like
white space for magic to happen.
we can kind of leave it here. Like I do think that like, and maybe this is just me, but like I do feel like sometimes there is this incorrect belief in that we're enough, and so there's a constant chasing at work,
Mm,
and
God
that
bless.
and that in and of
100%.
itself doesn't. It may or may not be process debt, but it does affect the mental health for sure. Like, because the reality is like you're like we're good enough. Like
Yeah.
you know, like I'd much rather be a knowledge worker that's a craftsman
Mhm.
than
Yes.
a knowledge worker that is basically just out, proliferating the latest AI slop.
Yeah. I love that. How do we separate? Let's take a little bit of time, take a beat to separate our ego from our work.
Yep.
Let the boring stuff be good
Yep.
enough, and save our energies for that inspiration that comes in the shower
100%.
or while you're doing
There
dishes.
you go.
Love it.
All right, man.
Thanks for talking about boring with
All
me,
right.
buddy.
See you, dude.
See you next week.